Hi everyone, this is Kim from the Wayrider Chronicles, number 4 in this case, entitled Let's Talk Crypto, or one specific aspect of crypto where quite a few people, or there are lots of skeptics, but quite a few people believe there may be utility in cryptocurrencies, and that is the facilitation of moving money across the world from country to country. One of the big promises, or premises as they call it, of Bitcoin, well this is, unfortunately when people talk about crypto they always mention Bitcoin, but there are literally thousands of other coins of various shapes and forms which we're not going to get into. One of the initial big hopes was that something like Bitcoin, Ether or whatever, was going to be able to be used to facilitate cross-border transactions for people who had, or essentially the world's, what somebody used to call the great unwashed, those of us who do not have access to normal banking facilities and would be able to transfer money from country to country or from within their countries, from people to people or business to business. So this, what I'm going to talk about here results from a newsletter sent out by John Jeff Roberts of Fortune magazine, who writes about every week, or regularly, let's put it that way, about cryptocurrencies. And to start it off, I will quote from an article from his latest newsletter, where he's interviewing, or has interviewed, Jack Zhang, who's the founder and CEO of the Melbourne-based company called Airwallex. Airwallex, spelled W-A-L-L-E-X, which is a sort of Wise for business. Wise used to be called TransferWise. If you don't know TransferWise or don't know Wise, which it is now, think of Revolut. If you haven't heard of Revolut, well, then you need to go and look it up. Basically, it's a means of transferring money cheaply around the world instead of using banks that charge very hefty fees for moving money from one place to another via what they call the SWIFT network. And he mentions the SWIFT network, which is a interbank transfer network, which we're not going to at the moment. Anyway, I will quote from this article a full paragraph, which I find interesting from a crypto point of view. John Jeff Roberts says, I quote, "I asked Zhang about the viability of using stablecoins, or XRP, which is a cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency that Ripple is using to facilitate cross-border transfers in regions like the South Pacific. He said that he finds crypto interesting, but thinks it has no chance of catching on because in terms of liquidity, please note this word liquidity, it is dwarfed by fiat currencies, something that the crypto world loves to use as a word, which basically means normal money for everybody else, dollars, euro, whatever. That's what when they talk about fiat, which sounds like something to do with a car, but it's not. Fiat currencies. Anyway, no business, he says, is seriously going to forgo the multi-trillion forex market to try and pay people in crypto instead, especially since the spreads are often much wider. Okay, we'll just go into a little bit what does it mean by spread. The spread is the difference between what you pay or somebody pays for transferring money from dollars to euro, for example. The higher the spread, the more you pay, basically, because it's the difference between the buy and sell price. The interesting thing here is that one of the premises of cryptocurrencies, especially when Bitcoin came out, was, besides the fact that it should be anonymous, which it isn't, but anyway, that's a completely different subject, that it should facilitate banking and transfers for people who normally would not have access to the regular banking system, i.e. people in third world countries. It's interesting because this guy, and part of the history of which you'll find, which you can read in the article, is a reference to the fact that this guy, Jack Zhang, used to work in the foreign exchange market. Forex, foreign exchange, same thing. And so he saw an opportunity, rather like the guys from Wise and Revolut, of undercutting the banks who did and still do charge ridiculous fees for transferring money from country to country, undercutting them to set up his own business, his own way of making transfers. What I find interesting and why I'm bringing it up as a crypto subject is that in spite of everything, after 15 years or whatever it is since Bitcoin was first introduced and the thousands and thousands of other coins that have come out, one of the basic things that everybody thought, or everybody who's in crypto has ever said, is that this is a basic factor. This facilitation of cross-border money sending or value sending, let's call it value. You're trying to send something of value, which is your money, from one place to one country to another. Crypto should be an ideal conduit for that. This guy's in at the sharp end, and he goes, no way. Why do I bring this up? There are a lot of crypto skeptics out there. Full disclosure, I have bought and sold crypto back in 2018, from 2018 onwards. Lost money, made money, lost money, made money. That is a different issue. You're essentially trading an asset, which is buying and selling something. You're not actually trying to pretend that you're doing anything else but speculation. And this has been, or this is, the main thrust of critics like some of the critics in the States. I will quote somebody, but there are lots of them. Molly White is one of them, who say it's just a speculative instrument. It's not actually being used for anything else except speculation. This is a reinforcement of that. When somebody in the sharp end who's using regularly, who has a business which he set up and is obviously successful, otherwise you won't get people from Fortune magazine interviewing him, says that no way, I'm not using crypto to facilitate transfers of money from country to country because it doesn't make any sense. What does that tell you? That is another story, and I will continue the discussions about crypto. But in the meantime, have a nice day. See ya.